Welcome to Out and Out Vibes, a new age, new day, and modern columnist radio show. Tursi and Mastro will be exploring an array of metaphysical topics. They'll be helping callers with insight about their questions. So welcome, and let's start our journey into a newly found awareness.
Hello, listeners. Welcome to BBS Radio on Out and Out Vibes with Nancy and
Gina. Hey, everyone. How are ya?
So what have you been doing lately, Gina? What have you been doing today? A lot.
Actually, I've been cleaning all day, so this is a nice respite from the cleaning.
Yep. And, because of spring, we do have that, and you want to declutter things.
Yeah.
So what made you want to get rid of things? Is it because of spring or something else?
Well, my daughter was home for spring break, and her stuff was just everywhere when she was home. And so after she left, then I decided I was just going to clean.
Yeah. And I got a new toy for myself. I got a 3D printer, and I've been printing little cats. We're bring your kid to work day, and I'm printing cats, and my next thing I'm going to print a bunch of dogs. So,
that sounds like fun.
Yeah. So, and who's our guest tonight, Gina?
So our guest is Heather LaCroix.
Yes, and she is a website and graphic designer. She's actually she designed my website, and I've been working with her for over probably 10 years, and actually she's been designing over 10 years. And we're going to talk a little bit about her, and so I'm not going to read her bio because we're going to ask questions about it because it's interesting. She has the healing arts background, plus she designs websites for people. So that's kind of, left brain, right brain. So we're going to talk about her. Heather, welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
So Heather, tell us a little about yourself.
A little bit about myself. Well, I'm a website and graphic designer, and I specialize in holistic and spiritual types of businesses. These types of businesses are usually, it could be chiropractors, it could be massage therapists, psychics, energy healers, feng shui practitioners, basically any of those green businesses, entrepreneurs, artists. The type of work that I do just really resonates very well with those types of businesses. So we usually work pretty well together.
How did you get started in this field?
How did I get started in this field? Well, that's kind of a long story. Probably about 20. Well, not an hour. Okay, an hour. Okay. Well, it's not that long. Well, probably about 20 years ago. I mean, I was working in probably in data entry in South Florida, and I was really, really bored with my job, and I just kept praying. I was like, well, I really want to do something creative, and this isn't really working for me. So I wanted to see if there's. I just wanted to know what I should be doing with my life. So at that time I was going up to visit my family in Connecticut. So I remember as soon as I got on the plane, I ended up sitting with this kind of like older man on the plane. And he was just talking to me a lot, and we were chatting, and he was asking me what I did, and it was data entry. It wasn't very exciting. He was just like, this was like back in, I think this was like back in 98, or it was like 98 or 99. And this is just when websites and, they was around for a while though, but I mean, web design was getting pretty hot back then. He was just like, he didn't really know much about me, but he just looked at me and he just said, you know what? I have a feeling you'd be really good at web design. I really think that that's something you should really look into. So I just felt like, how like some people like it's like an earth angel. I think that he was one of those types of people. So
Understand.
yeah. So I was like, oh wow, web design. So, I visited my parents and I came back. And when I came back, I started getting like all of these catalogs from, the local college about web design. Well, I was just looking at the about courses and everything, continuing education. So I took a web design course and I really liked it. And I just got really excited about it, and I started learning everything I could learn about it. And I created my first website, which was actually very terrible. It looked awful, because I was a newbie. So I just started taking the graphic design courses, and I really liked it. I thought that was. I just got really excited about it and really passionate about it. And somebody that I work with, she was actually an artist. We got to be really good friends. So I got inspired by her because I just went to her house and I was like, oh wow, look at all these paintings. And so I just started painting, and I realized, my first painting, I was like, wow, I never painted before, and this was actually not too bad. I mean, it's not great, but it's actually, it's pretty good. So, I was working at the boring job, but I started taking classes. So for the next 4 years, I got my degree in graphic design. I already had a marketing degree, and so that was it. I got really passionate about it. And where was I going with this?
That's
story.
fine. So that's what led you to where you're at now.
Yeah, that's where I'm at now is, I got a job at an internet company, and that dissolved. So I had to, basically I had to sink or swim. I had freelance jobs going, and I was looking for a full-time job, and I figured out that I was, the freelance jobs were coming in and the full-time job was not coming in, and I was making more money doing the freelance work. So basically, what is it? I think that was in 2007. So like more than 12 years later, here I am, been doing this for like 12 years, and I'm enjoying it. I like having my own company. And, I created your spiritual aspect.
You created your own destiny.
Pretty much. I created my own job. As far as like the spiritual and holistic part of it, I mean, I've always been interested in that sort of stuff, always. So, I mean, I've taken classes. Like I've gone to channeling circles. I've taken mediumship classes. I've gone to meditation circles. And when I started talking to people and telling them what I did, all of these people didn't really have much of a web presence, and they needed help with their marketing. So it kind of just went off on itself organically. I mean, I love those types of people, and I'm one of those myself.
Mm-hmm. So Heather, I read that you practice healing arts. What healing arts do you practice?
Well, in let's see, I think it was 2001. I got attuned to Reiki 1, and then a couple months later, I got attuned to Reiki 2. So I do use that for myself. For things that are happening to get me calmed down. I use it on pets. I use it on friends. I use it on family. In 2000, I think it was 2009, I learned integrated energy therapy. That's actually a therapy that it's kind of like acupuncture, sort of a little bit, but you bring in the energy, and then you press on certain points where you like release like certain energy that's been building up. Like it could be like grief, it could be anger, it could be shame. It's really great. Like if you've been stressed out, if you're going through certain things and you just realize you just need to do that, it's really a good therapy to use. And I also believe in the law of attraction. So
I never heard of that one. That sounds very interesting to me. I just want to mention, before we go on to any more questions, if anyone is interested in giving us a call and has a question, our number is 888-627-6008. So, Heather, I was thinking about when you were talking about the healing arts that you work with, I wondered how they might have influenced your website work.
Oh, I learned so much from every project. It's just very interesting to me. I mean, if you believe in the law of attraction, which I know you do, and everybody does. I think that it's something. Usually, it's something that I probably need to learn about. I get people that come to me for like a website design or a graphic design, and I end up learning about it. As far as how it influences me. Well, I think it's made me a better designer.
When you design a website, do you take time and meditate and see what comes to you in reference to the design because you are spiritually in tune?
Well, I've always meditated, but regularly it's right now, it's like for the past, since 2015, I've been doing it regularly. I do at least 10 minutes before I start work. It's actually part of my work day. And I feel like that's how I get a lot of creative ideas. I feel like my guides are helping me. I feel like that's how I connect with clients, and that I can usually when I'm picking out an image for them, I usually get a feeling that that's something I pick out a whole bunch of them for their website, but I usually get a feeling that one of them is going to be really, really good, for the home page, or another one's going to be really good for the about page or for their services page. Mm-hmm. It's things like that. I think it just meditation really helps to connect me to source, and that I can connect with my clients a little bit better. It just helps throughout the day.
So for our listeners who don't understand the definition of source, can you explain that to them?
Well, I think all religions are the same in that they all go to they all relate to the same thing. I think source to me is is God, however you want to define it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. That's it. As simple as it is.
Yeah. And simple's good, and what's the telephone number? We're going to take a commercial break, Gina. What's the telephone number for our listeners to call us in?
It is 888-627-6008. Give us a call.
And we'll be back right after this commercial break.
We have created a new trend by mixing comfort with a positive design to inspire the wearer of our clothing line. In each of our custom creations, we've designed an inspiration word incorporated into a mandala. If you want to be the first to check out these cool designs, visit us at out-and-out-vibes.myshopify.com. That's outandoutVibes.myshopify.com, or visit nancytursi.org. We have a great metaphysical shop in New Jersey, which is known as Sacred Green Earth. They carry a large variety of new and used books, including audiobooks and DVDs. Our statuary and gifts are imported from 14 different countries, and they carry inspirational banners and decor items from many diverse walks of life. This store prides itself on carrying the highest quality of incense from all over the world. We're located at 511 White Horse Pike, Oakland, New Jersey. Or simply call us at 856-854-7700.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Out and Out Vibes with Gina and Nancy. Today we have Heather LaCroix with us. She is a website and graphic designer, and her studio is studiothirdeye.com.
Third Eye Design Studio, actually.
Oh, say it again. Say it for us.
It's called Third Eye Design Studio. It's the name of the website is studiothirdeye.com, but it's called Third Eye Design Studio.
Perfect. And while we're talking about the name, how did you come up with that name?
Well, actually, it was an old boyfriend. So, but it stuck, and it's perfect for me. It's great for branding, and it's who I am. And
why'd you pick a dragonfly as your graphic?
I'm sorry?
Why'd you pick a dragonfly?
Well, I like dragonflies. It's kind of like relates to like the fairy realm, which I kind of attune to, which I love. I love nature and everything. And also the dragon symbolizes transformation. So, I mean, they have a really short life. They don't live very long. They do what they got to do, and then they transform. So I think it relates really well to my business.
Sure.
And I like color. I love color. That works for me.
So let's take, we do have a question from one of our listeners. Do you mind if we read it on the air, and then we could see if you have any advice to give this person, and then Gina will, and then I will? Would you mind?
No, I don't mind at all.
Okay, great. So the person is 47 years old, and my husband, Joe, is 52. We've been married 15 years, and our children are 8 and 10. Between our work and caring for kids, we have lost the ability to enjoy each other's company. So in the past, I considered him my best friend, but now he's no longer able to laugh or lighten me up. For instance, we occasionally hire a babysitter, we go out to dinner, he'll talk about how much the dinner is, how his plans are, and then when we return, he says, I'll pay the sitter, then we'll get the kids ready for bed, get in our pajamas, and watch TV. That's our normal routine. But he goes on and on as if we don't do the same thing every night, but we do the same thing every night, every week. And I told him he acts like I'm a maid he just hired, but he seems compelled to retreat to the same routine regardless of what I say. So it gives me no longing looks or loving smiles like he used to. And even though when I wear attractive clothes or offer to pay for dinner or tell him funny stories, nothing I do puts him in a good mood. He seems just to be happy only when he's with his golfing buddies. And his excuse is, you're a mother now, my self-esteem couldn't be lower, and it has nothing to do with you, it's all me. So can you give me some advice on what to do?
Okay, well, even though like I'm a web and graphic designer, I have like a whole bunch of fairy cards around here. So
Perfect.
I just picked some. Okay, so I got the travel card. An upcoming trip proves to be life-changing in positive ways. I got emotional healing. As your heart heals of old emotional pain, you receive new blessings and love. And your desires fully manifest as the flowers begin to bloom, which is happening now. So I guess my intuitive part of this is that she needs to shake up they both need to shake up the relationship. She doesn't need to do all the work. It sounds like they need to go on a trip and leave the kids at home and maybe go to the beach and get some emotional healing, and when they come back, they can work it out. And it's going to happen right away because the spring's here.
And what do you think, Gina?
So even before you said his hobbies, the first thing that popped into my mind was they need to have a hobby away from each other, separate from each other, but then they also have to have something that they do together other than just going to the movies or out to dinner, something different. So if they could find an interest together, it would be something that would maybe spark a new excitement for them. Because it seems like his energy for his life has just gotten dull. So they need something to make it a little more bouncy again.
I agree. What I get is your husband, likes a routine. Why he's repetitious. It's like a ritual. Puts the kids to bed, gets in the pajamas, watches TV. You didn't say this, but this is what I see. I see a loss, his loss of interest in you because you're a mother, and he retreats to the golf course or problems that can be resolved by talking with someone. Maybe counseling to help put your steps back into both of you. And I think I did get a vacation somewhere, so I agree with Heather in reference to that you need to step it up and do something different. If he refuses to not go, I recommend you go without him. And remember, it's not your fault. So like he said, don't blame yourself, because women blame themselves and it's not your issue. But you need to work together to fix the issue. So your husband appears there's some other things going on, maybe a little more baggage than the carousel at O'Hara Airport. So he needs to work on that, but you need to also work with him to work on that as a couple to get back that step. So that would be great.
Yeah. So let's go back to talking to Heather about some of the healing arts that she works with. She told us that she does Reiki. I know Nancy is also a Reiki master, and I started studying it a little bit. Heather, can you tell us what Reiki is so that listeners can be all on the same page as us?
Reiki is, it's energy healing. I mean, it's bringing in energy from God or source or whatever you want to call it to heal the body and the mind. You can do it to heal the body, or you can use it to heal your emotions. You can use it to manifest things in your life. It's really great, and it feels great when you do it. I mean, if you're upset about something, there's a symbol you can use over your heart to like heal that. So that really helps with that.
So what was the other healing that you said that you took that was like with the meridians and the pressure points?
That is integrated energy therapy. Integrated energy therapy. It was actually, like I said, I learn a lot from my clients. So one of my clients is skyshealing.com. I've been working with her for a really long time, and she gives classes on that, and I got really interested in it, so I decided to take a class with her. But it's very helpful though, because I mean, being an entrepreneur is not really like a straight process though. So I mean, it helps with emotional issues, and if you get frustrated about something, you can use that therapy. Like if you're disappointed in something, or if you're angry with a client, or it really helps a lot. I mean, it's basically a toolbox. I mean, all these energy therapies, they're just a toolbox to help. I honestly, I think they should be, I think everybody should use them. They're very helpful.
That integrated energy therapy, is that similar to tapping?
I actually do that too. That actually helps with manifesting. No, it's not tapping. I mean, but you know what? Ever since I learned tapping, a lot of the points are related to it though. So basically, it's kind of like Reiki and tapping combined. You actually, like, there's certain points. You bring in the energy. You put your hands on certain points. Like as far as your heart, you put your energy on your heart, and once you're attuned to the energy, once you feel that you've got enough energy there, there's a certain point that you press on your body. It's I can't remember. I think it's like right above the chest, on your collarbone. I believe it is. I haven't done this in a while. I gotta look it up in the book. But it actually releases emotions related to your heart and disappointment, and there's all different areas that you can use with that. But it does actually use the pressure points related to tapping as well.
That's really interesting.
Does it help to relieve anything that's going on in your life, or can it help with past life stuff also?
It can. I mean, with past life, I haven't really delved that deeply into it as far as past lives. Sometimes, I mean, life is what it is. If you're getting into like a certain point in your life where that going for a walk or going for a hike is not really working, and then it's really good and it works really well. I mean, it's almost been like you're upset about something that you've been upset about for a couple of days, and then you use that therapy, and then it's just over. You're not even thinking about it the next day. It's just like it's done. You're feeling good.
I have a question from a listener, and they wanted to know, for someone who's starting in web design, what application do you use, and what applications can you recommend to someone who is just starting out?
Okay, well, basically, use all the Adobe products. I mean, when I learned it was like almost 20 years ago, but I'm still using the tools of the trade. It's Photoshop is for image editing. When I was just starting out, I was using HTML, and I was using Dreamweaver, but right now, I don't use Dreamweaver at all anymore. I use mainly WordPress. But it's really a good idea to learn HTML, because you can fix a lot of things in WordPress knowing HTML. It's based on that. What else do I use? Illustrator. If you want to go into logo design, Illustrator is great for that. Those are the things that I use.
Okay,
but
great.
mainly Photoshop. Photoshop is very important. That's like my main number one tool that I use, and in WordPress.
Okay, and we'll talk a little bit more in detail about them. And we will be right back after this commercial break. You're here with Out and Out Live. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for that great podcast that you can participate with and get excited about, that will take you on a journey of insight and answers? Then you found it. Join us on Out and Out Vibes with Nancy Tursi and Gina Mastro, which airs every other Sunday at 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on PBS Radio. Music is all around us in this world, and we invite you to listen to this powerful, romantic, and enchanting music from Caleb. Caleb's velvet tenor voice will transport you to another time and space with his romantic and powerful vocals. His inspiration in his performance draws from the tenors he most admires, such as Bocelli and Pavarotti, Domingo, and Corelli. Come check out this great tenor at galeb.net. That's spelled GHALEB.net.
Welcome back, everyone, to Out and Out Vibes. We are here with website and graphic designer Heather LaCroix. And Heather is from the Third Eye Design Studio. She can be found at studiothirdeye.com. We are going to take callers, as well as we do have some questions that have been sent in previous to the show. If you would like to call us, the number is 888-627-6008.
So, Heather, we were talking, you were answering a listener's question before we went to commercial break, and they added another question to it. They want to know what's the difference between like a Adobe program that you use to create a website and WordPress. Can you explain that to a beginner, because they don't know neither of them?
Okay, Photoshop is an image editing program. It's like if you take a picture, you can bring it in and you can do a lot of cool stuff with it. Like you can change the background, you can change the texture, you can you can whiten somebody's teeth. It's really cool. You can crop it, and that's really good for web design. As far as WordPress is a content management program. It builds websites. Like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. I used to create websites in straight HTML and Photoshop, but I don't do that anymore. I use there's many content management programs around, and I specialize in WordPress. There's also Squarespace, there's Weebly, there's Wix, there's all those different programs. But WordPress is a free content management program, and I mainly use with the Elegant Themes, the Divi theme, and basically what I do is I create a mock-up in Photoshop, which is the graphic editing software, and I do a home page and an inner page, and then basically with WordPress and the Divi theme, I can actually create my mock-up into WordPress, and it's fully functional. The client can go in and edit things if they want to. They can edit the text. They can change out images if they want to. Some of the stuff that I do, they might want to give to me as far as like doing a store, but basically you can change the text and you can change the images. It's really good for people that want to do stuff for themselves, or if they want to hand it off to a web designer, that's fine. But I found that a lot of clients, they want to have at least have the option to do it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, go ahead and learn WordPress.
Okay. Nancy, I know you have a question from a listener.
So it's a young adult that wrote. I went through a lot about complaining about my parents. I'm 28 years old. I'm mature enough to understand that their actions when I was 16 were motivated by the purest and deepest love for me and for my siblings. And I want to thank them. Some of my friends whose parents were too permissive used drugs, drank, became promiscuous, got pregnant, or took risks that carried bad consequences. Because of my parents and their strictness and watching out for me, I graduated from the university, achieved my personal and professional goals, and I have nothing to regret because they were there for me and I was happy that they were. So I would like to know what you see for me, for myself in the future. But I also want to say thank you, Mom and Dad, for being as strict as you were, because I wouldn't have made it this far without you.
Okay, is it my turn?
It is, Heather. Go ahead.
Okay, I picked, this is the Doreen Virtue Magical Messages from the Fairies. I got the Express Your Individuality. Allow your true self to shine because you're awesome. I got New Home. Moving is a step in the right direction for you. And Easy Does It. Stop trying so hard to control everything, and all the doors will open for you. What am I thinking? Well, I don't know this person at all, but if they're still living at home, then it sounds like they need to move, because moving is the right direction for you. No, I don't. Like I said, I don't really know what their situation is.
Sure.
I do know astrology, though, so if they're 28 years old, they're going into their first Saturn return. So they are probably thinking really, really serious about, like, what is the next step. So basically it sounds like they really just need to think about what they like to do. What are the things that you like to do that make you happy? And that's going to be your next career. That's definitely important. What are the things that you do on a daily basis that give you joy? Because that's a hint to what's going to make you money and what's going to be your life purpose. The new home's important. Stop trying to control everything, and all the doors will open for you. You're still young. Go ahead and have fun. I mean, this is not. You don't have to decide your whole life at 29, although it seems like that right now because of the Saturn return. So go ahead and have fun, and I think everything's going to be okay. Once you stop being so serious about everything, then the energy's going to open up, and you're going to figure things out, and just take it one step at a time.
Okay, great. What do you think, Gina?
So I agree with everything Heather said. I'm going to add one little thing. The person said they wanted to thank their parents, and I think that doing some daily gratitude work is really helpful because gratitude is a really high vibrational energy, and I think it will help that person to be more in tune with things, to understand that she is ready to move on. And yeah, she had a strict life, but she is ready to just move on, and her parents will understand. They'll hear the gratitude and feel it. And that's it.
Yeah, I agree. My parents were strict, and I had friends that would always be out. Same thing. They were able to go out. I had to be in by like 6 o'clock. And they were still outside when it was summer. But my parents were the same way, and I appreciate that. And, for you, what I see is individuality in the sense that, that you're safe and all your aspects of life have truly come your way. And you're expressing yourself now because this inspires your spirit as an individual. And you want other people to understand that it's okay to have parents that are strict. And the keynote is the life purpose that you're on, and just to love and accept yourself, like Heather was saying, to allow yourself to naturally develop and express your world and take your place and let your wings open up kind of like a butterfly and fly where you need to go, because I do see instinctively that you're going to gravitate to people that are right for you and places. And I actually see you, Heather, did you say about a new job or moving? You said moving,
oh,
right?
It says new home.
Moving. New home.
Moving, a new home.
Because I see moving and a new job, and you'll be traveling. You're going to have a little confusion with this because you're going to be like, oh, I'm going away from what I know. But where you're going to is good. Don't compare yourself to others, and take your unique childlike way that you see of the universe and go to your special path to fulfill your own destiny. That's what I see where you're headed to. So, okay, great. So, Heather, with what you do, in reference to this creation, and, you have the holistic and the spiritual techniques and the tools that you do, and you do use it for your business and your clients, how do you, like when you're working with your clients, how do you use your gifts that you have when you're working with clients to create their branding and their universe, is what I call it, because the website is their universe?
Okay. Well, like I said, the spiritual things that I do is like the meditation and connecting with them. But I mean, the practical ways I do is I send them a creative brief. It's like I just send them. If they're doing a logo or a website, I have a couple. About a 2-page questionnaire. I mean, you filled it out. I have them look at if they're doing a logo, I have them look at other logos that they like, businesses that are somewhat similar to them, styles that they like, fonts that they like, colors, what they want their perfect client to think of and feel when they look at their logo or their website. And basically with that, I if it's a website, I go into Photoshop and I create a mock-up of the home page and the inner page. And if they like it, that's when I start building it live. As far as a logo, I basically draw up a logo by hand. I do like a lot of different. I do probably dozens of concepts, but I present to them 3 concepts for them to choose from. I found out through the past if I give them more than 3 concepts for a logo, and I draw it by hand, is that's too much information. 3 of them is I just pick out my best 3 ones for them to choose from, and that works pretty well. If I give them more than that, they just get really confused and they just go off in all different directions.
Oh, sure.
Basically. Okay. Basically it's the manifestation techniques, and it's also, backing it up with practical reasons is the creative brief and going from there.
And it sounds like you're using the combination of left brain, right brain, which is great. So you're balanced. Yeah. And at this point, if we're going to take a commercial break, so listeners, if you want to give us a call in, you can call us at 1-888-627-6008. We'll be right back after this commercial break with Out and Out Vibes.
We have created a new trend by mixing comfort with a positive design to inspire the wearer of our clothing line. In each of our custom creations, we've designed an inspiration word incorporated into a mandala. If you want to be the first to check out these cool designs, visit us at out-and-out-vibes.myshopify.com. That's outandoutvibes.myshopify.com, or visit nancytursi.org. We have a great metaphysical shop in New Jersey, which is known as Sacred Green Earth. They carry a large variety of new and used books, including audiobooks and DVDs. Our statuary and gifts are imported from 14 different countries, and they carry inspirational banners and decor items from many diverse walks of life. This store prides itself on carrying the highest quality of incense from all over the world. We're located at 511 White Horse Pike, Oakland, New Jersey. Or simply call us at 856-854-7700.
Welcome back, everyone. We're with Out and Out Vibes, and tonight our guest is Heather LaCroix. She's from Third Eye Design Studios. Hey, Heather. Hey, Nance.
Hey, how are you? I wanted to tell our listeners, if you want to see her design, you could actually check out my website because she designed it at www.nancytursi.org or .com. Either one will take you there.
Right.
And we have another question from a listener. So here we go. And Heather, you'll be the first one up. So I am recently divorced from my husband of 27 years. There is someone special in my life now, and it seems my ex-husband is trying to cause problems where my kids are concerned. I have tried to talk with him about his thoughts and opinions about my boyfriend between us. However, it can't seem to do it. My 15-year-old daughter has a mind of her own, and my 7-year-old son, he acts according to things that he hears from my ex-husband. This is affecting my relationship with my son because I have tried to teach him to be respectful adults no matter who they are. And keep in mind, my son, that my boyfriend has nothing to him or does not like him in any way. And he deserves to be treated nicely. You know, I really love this man, and I want my kids to be part of our lives and have a family together, hopefully in the future. So what is your advice you can give me?
Okay, let me see what I can see here. Wow, I got the sun card. Okay, spiritual teacher. Your life purpose involves teaching others about healing and spirituality. The second card I got is your son is watched over and protected as he explores his world. And then I got it again. Easy does it. Trying so hard to control everything, and the doors were open for you. Well, it kind of sounds like you're a spiritual teacher to your son, and I think stop worrying about your son so much. I mean, he's fine the way he is, and also with that card next to it, easy does it. Stop trying to basically just stop worrying about everything. I mean, he's going to be fine the way he is. I think you should enjoy your life and your new relationship. I mean, there is some boundary issues with your ex-husband. I mean, but it just sounds like you're just a little bit too worried about your son, and that if you basically just let it go, and that start thinking about other things. I mean, just give your hand out and just let it go, and that everything's once you just try to control everything, it's going to be fine.
What's your advice, Gina?
I'm going to skip this one, Nancy. You go ahead.
Okay. So what I see, your ex-husband refused to cooperate with you. The only other choice is, to make the children less susceptible to brainwashing. Your son acts out, take him aside, ask him why he's doing it. If he repeats it and he keeps telling you that his father told him, you let him know, your daddy's very angry with me right now. And sometimes we all say things we don't mean when we're angry. And point out to him that the boyfriend has always been good to him and you, and that, that keep reiterating that. And, your 13-year-old daughter has a mind of her own. And if that means she likes your boyfriend, enlist her help in convincing her brother that the man's not as bad as the father says. And if this doesn't work, you're going to have to create the boundaries. And, you might want to make an appointment with the child to talk to someone for therapy who's a third party who's neutral. And that way, that might help him to understand the difference between what's going on in this whole thing. Because he's not part of it, he's just a side of it. So that's my advice for you. Okay.
All right, great. So, Heather, I just want to get back to your website. Do you have any recommendations for people who want to have a website designed?
Recommendations?
Yeah, so when someone comes to you, what do you want them to have for you?
Well, I would like to know what kind of website they're looking to create. Are they looking for, are they just looking to get out there? Are they just starting their business? Are they looking to sell products online? Are they looking to have events? Are they looking to sell their services? Things like that. I mean, because that depends on the type of website I'm going to build. Are they looking to get traffic through the search engines? It's going to be through word of mouth.
And are those the types of things you ask on your questionnaire to them?
Yeah, definitely. What kind of website are you looking to build? What's your business? Who are your clients? How are you getting business? Who is your competition? How do you compare to those people? Are you just starting out? Are you medium-sized business? Are you small business? Are you large business?
And how would you like people to get in touch with you if they're interested in having work done?
Well, they can look at my website. They can call me or they can email me. My email address is heather@studiothirdeye.com. Studio is STUDIO, third, THIRDEYE.com, or they can go to my website and they can make an appointment. I have an appointment scheduler, so if they want to talk live, we can talk on the phone, or we can do a Skype thing if they want to see me in person, or if they're near the Asheville area, we can meet in person.
Okay, that's great. Nancy, any last things?
A real fast question from a listener. They want to know, what is SEO? You hear that a lot.
Oh, okay. That's called search engine optimization. Basically, it's making your website friendly for the search engine. So if somebody's typing in something like, if you're an energy healer, you're an energy healer in the New Jersey area. So if somebody's typing in energy healer New Jersey area, you can actually dial it down to like the city and the state, and actually the type of energy healing that you do. And there also could be your clientele, like a niche kind of energy healing that you're doing. So it's making your website friendly to the search engines so people can find you. And there's a way to do that. You actually do a keyword analysis. You look up, you research like the best keyword phrases that people are using, and use those in the code of the website. Use them to name the images. There's a way in the images that you can actually describe them so it shows up in the code so that the search engines can find you a little bit better. I mean, it's a little bit complicated. I'm sure it's probably going over people's heads right now, but basically it's a way to make your website friendly to the search engines so that the right people are finding you.
Okay, that sounds great. And if you have any questions, you can reach her through her website or email her, contact her, and she'll reach out to you and set up a time, and she could talk with you about this, especially if you're trying to create a website. Do you sometimes do collaboration if they want to, like let's say they're new, they're creating a website for one of their customers, would you collaborate with someone if they need help with it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. And I think this person, yeah, they're new, so they don't understand everything, and they said they'll be reaching out to you, so that would be great.
Okay,
awesome.
Great.
Well, it's been a real pleasure having you, Heather. I mean, we handled a lot of listeners and helped a lot of people today, and thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. It was nice meeting you.
You too.
And we're coming to our conclusion of our show, Gina, another night.
Another night. And if you want to reach out to us, you can contact us through www.nancytursi.org on the contact page, and we will read your question on air and answer it.
And you can also email directly if you like, info@nancytursi.org. So
Correct.
Thank you, listeners, for listening to us this evening. Peace out.
Have a good night. Bye.
Thank you so much for sharing this radio adventure with us this evening. Join us next time as we explore another topic which will expand your awareness of yourself and unlock potential opportunities for all of our listeners. See you next time on Out and Out Vibes.